Welcome back to another beautiful day in the Matrix on the #1 alpha altcoin show, The Next Layer. You guys missed us last week because unfortunately I was out of town, but we're going to make it up this week with some awesome alpha. And I got Bill, the legendary bull, on the live stream. What's up, brother? How we doing?
Bro. A part of me died inside when I was like, I can't do my live stream on my boy Chris. I understood though, you had your obligations, respect that. But like, dude, we are now ready to go. Every Wednesday, we have to do it. And if we can't, then we got to make it up because there's just no time to sleep. So much going on. I'm ready to dive all in on the next layer.
Love it, man. Hey, I agree with you, man. You know, it's one of those things where, when you wake up, you have like either some coffee, you go to the gym, you go on a run, and then and if you don't do that routine, you're off. And that's how I felt last week on Wednesday. But Bill,
Yeah.
I need to talk to you, man. Markets are going crazy, man. What's your thoughts on the markets right now, and how you feeling? Bullish or bearish?
Bro, I mean, am I like, if anyone's bearish, I mean, if you think, oh, 100K, we're going down, you clearly don't deserve to be in this market. You clearly don't deserve the gains that are going to come. I think by the first week of December, Bitcoin's going to blow past 100K. I don't know what it'll go to, but I'm excited, man, because that's just going to, cap off the most amazing alt season of our lives. I think it's going to replicate 2017. So the next 2 months are critical because I do know once March hits, I don't know what's going to happen. Could that be the market top? I don't know. I'm leaning on yes, but regardless, next 2 months we lock in, homie. We lock in.
Yes, sir. And I like what Bill brought up about when the market top comes in, because keep in mind we're both TA guys. We understand TA, and I look at a lot of TA indicators. So does Bill. We have our preferences, and what we're going to be covering here is past trends that we saw with Bitcoin. So, for example, I showed you guys what happened right after the election. Me and Bill sat down. We went through the charts and we said, hey, we're going to pump right after the election. The thing just went absolutely nuclear. How do we figure that out? We went to the 2016, the 2020 election, saw what happened. That's the type of stuff we do. So we're going to keep you guys updated with that. Now, to just start off before we get into Bitcoin price chart, man, we got some big news, and I'm just going to share my screen and I want to get your reaction to this. So if you guys have been paying attention to the market, there has been a huge court case for crypto in general. And there's a good chance that, in my opinion, this could really kick off altcoin season. But big victory in Tornado Cash as judge says OFAC exceeded authority. Now, some context behind this. What happened was Tornado Cash was getting hit by the US government, and they had sanctions on people's wallets for actually using Tornado Cash. A Texas court judge just ruled those sanctions were government overreach, and now we're getting into a position where we're going back in and seeing whether or not what's going on with Tornado Cash and how the government's over-regulating or regulating against them, whether or not that's constitutional or within the confines of the court. I don't know if I said that correctly, but ultimately we're opening up what happened with Tornado Cash, and there's a good chance that this might impact the market. Bill, what's your thoughts on this announcement, Tornado Cash, and what does that mean for crypto?
I mean, it's bullish, right? Obviously, it's just another sign of like government outreach is no longer allowed. I think this is pro crypto friendly regulations. I think now people are, well, of course, money launderers are excited, but I think this is a step in the right direction to show that they're no longer draconian overreach anymore. The future is bright for the crypto world, and I think it's forward thinking. So if they're able to let this kind of thing overturn, then I think it just gives further confidence that we're in a system where they're going to reward the crypto industry and not stifle it. So it's extremely bullish all around. Very excited to hear about that.
Yeah, man. And I think the big thing about what's going on with Tornado Cash that I think all you guys can understand is this concept of privacy. What Tornado Cash did was they used mixer technology, and that's the reason why the US government hated it, because when you send your funds from an exchange wallet to your private wallet, there's bots actually tracking that. It's been proven. So the main point that I'm trying to get across with this is Tornado Cash is going to solidify privacy for any crypto user. And I understand there's these 1% examples of crime and money laundering, but ultimately there's always going to be solutions to fight back against that. But I do believe in people's own privacy on the blockchain. Bill, any thoughts on that before we run into jump on the Bitcoin price chart?
No, I mean, privacy is massively important. It's for decentralization. You don't want, again, for me, especially being able to transact freely, not knowing what people are prying their eyes on it. It's critically important. It reminds me why privacy coins, like in 2017, like Monero and stuff, did so well because of that aspect. So again, anything bullish on privacy, I'm all about.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And a couple comments I'm seeing. When Tie next stream, we'll cover Tie next. We're actually going to talk about Tie next today. So if you want us to go deeper into Tie next, share this live stream out. Breath. Hey man, shout out to you, dude. You took the initiative. We just give out the alpha. We're just a couple of boys just going on and just enjoying crypto, man. So hey, shout out to you, my man. Thank you for being a loyal supporter. That's the Dex on base, right?
Aerodrome is like the biggest. I actually messaged the founder was on my podcast. Little plug for my late night on base podcast. The founder Alex was on it. Those guys have blown up. So
I love it, man.
And shout out to you, Black Pinoy, for hopping on.
Yes, sir. PDI, PWBTC, and Peak Stake ETH. Yeah, we're also going to talk about that. Tinex, Pulse Chain, and all that stuff. We're going to talk about that today. So just keep it moving. Let's just get a quick update on the price chart. So just looking at what's going on with Bitcoin right now and where we are at. We basically had a beautiful, clear breakout out of this bull flag, and now we're coming up, and we're starting to test out. Actually, no, we're in price discovery. I was about to say we're about to test out resistance. That would not be true. So we had a beautiful breakout, and we're coming out. Now the question is, after this breakout, typically we typically come down and retest the breakout and then usually do a W on out. Most charts do that, but keep in mind, this is the bull market hype phase, so that's not necessarily a big factor. I've also been seeing some things about a CME gap on Bitcoin right around 78K. So some people are saying that we might come down to right about 78K to fill that CME gap. That's definitely a play as well. But the main thing I'm honing in on, and I want to show you this, I want to show Bill this because I've been just looking at charts day and night, my man. Thanksgiving price dump. So 2020, well, as you guys know, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have the opportunity to spend some time with family and all that good stuff. Now, I want to scale it back to the last Thanksgiving holiday. So when Thanksgiving hit, we had a nice 17% correction on that day. Then we got a little doji, and then we basically had 3 white soldiers, and then boom, bull market on. Now, if we go back to the prior one, I don't know if I tagged this one, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, I did. Okay. Now, if we go back to the prior Thanksgiving, we didn't have a similar correction to 2020, but this one's actually looking like it might be playing out similar to the one that we have right now. We dipped down about 5%. And this was back in 2016 when there wasn't as much money in the market, but we still had a dip. So, Bill, what's your thoughts on a Thanksgiving correction and then Bitcoin go up? What do you think about that theory?
So I think I have to send you the latest Waters Above. I don't know if you've been following him lately. That guy has just been putting out, a lot of good content. And as we take a different look in the markets, everyone from TA, but we also look at the esoteric stuff. This market does run on numerology, astrology, and you cannot convince me otherwise. And I think one of the things he did say right now, because Mercury is in retrograde, he believes that regardless, one of the fun facts is, I think it started Mercury retrograde. I have to look a couple days ago. Whatever it started at, Bitcoin's price, it will be at least that much or higher week of December. So regardless of whatever dump happens, I don't know if there will be a flash dump. I don't think so. I think there's heavy support around 90, wherever that wherever that I think it was what 90K or something. I don't see it breaking down that at all. I don't see it going down that. I think that's heavy support because Mercury's in retrograde. I don't see that happening whatsoever. So I think there might be just small dips. I'm up only, bro. I'm up, yeah, for right there. I think 100% we are going higher. And I think consolidation under resistance, psychological resistance, which is 100K, is bullish. And yeah, we're not going down. I just don't see it. I wouldn't do leverage though. I wouldn't fuck with that because market makers are just trying to take your hard-earned money. So believing it's going to go to the CME gap, I don't see it. I think it's going to go up only till February timeframe. I mean, it might stall, but like I said, I think it could hit that gap in March. I think something is going to happen, and I think like a massive, which wouldn't be horrible, but I think if it does touch that level, personally, it's in March. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I do agree with you that, when you take the numerology and astrology perspective on it, Waters Above did a phenomenal job really making that mainstream. I'm pretty sure that guy is probably like a double 33 life path. I'm just kidding. That doesn't exist, but you get the point.
For sure.
I think ultimately what's probably going to happen. Well, actually, I think the crash has already been factored in. So we came up, we dipped down right here, and we hit about 90K, and then we might come down just a little bit, trade sideways, and then boom, see you later. Because people go home on Thanksgiving, they're just like, hey guys, I'm making millions of dollars off of pixelated images of monkeys and oranges, and it's just crazy stuff, man.
Well, you think about it too. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Tomorrow is also the 28th number of wealth. And I think everyone's going to be sitting around the dinner table. I think tomorrow is going to be really big in the markets. I think you're going to see massive momentum. And I remind this cycle so far now at this point reminds me exactly of 2017. Again, I know people are saying 2016 leading to 2017, but if you're around the market 2017, Christmas, Thanksgiving time, things really picked up. In Christmas, it just went parabolic. In January, everything topped. Bitcoin, I remember one day Ethereum was like 230 and it just went to like 1200 or something, some wild shit. And then obviously that marked the top. So I'm thinking everyone's going to be home in the holidays. People will be talking about Bitcoin in a good sense. Wow, Bitcoin's almost at 100K. You must be rich, whatever. I honestly think it's going to be a violent rally. And if you're sidelined, I mean, honestly, I think you're an idiot.
Yeah, man. Cope season right around the corner.
Pretty much.
So I think ultimately just big point across. There's no reason to be selling, in my opinion, not financial advice, and to be cheating your bags. If you want to load up on new potential opportunities, you might want to be considering doing that. If not today, next couple of days, because I do agree with Bill. We're about to see Bitcoin absolutely do its thing. And then I don't want to talk too much about the Bitcoin price chart, but I just want to I just want to let you guys know we did hit a double top. So if this pattern plays out and we go below the swing low, that means altcoin season's coming. So
which means there was a deviation, double top deviation, boom. And actually that aligns perfectly with the chart I just shared. Let me share my screen real quick to show you guys the where we are in alt season. So Mustache is 11. His charts are just amazing. And just like how he says, we're at the moment where generational wealth can be made over the next few months. Total 3 looks simply beautiful. That's basically all coins minus BTC and Ethereum. RSI is about to reach 70, just like in past cycles. And if you noted the double rounded bottom, and we are right here in basically the 2020, 2021 cycle, same thing up here. Look at that. And boom, we're expected. So right now, total 3 is around 910 billion, according to this chart. $3.55 trillion coming up with the RSI. I 100% see this. I 100% see this. I think, like I said, I think you need to be in your positions like immediately. I really don't understand why anyone would be waiting. I just can't understand.
I agree. Yeah. And with altcoin season around, and first of all, that chart was phenomenal. Thank you for sharing that. And I do agree with you across the board. It's almost go time. And with altcoin season just right around the corner, and we start to see this potential double top playing out. If we get down to, I would probably say 58% come back, retest the rising wedge, and then break down, hey man, you got a lot of you guys are gonna have a big old smile on your face, and you're gonna have a really good Christmas. That's all I gotta say. So
Yep. Yes, sir.
yes, sir. So good stuff, man. All right. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the market right now. So we gotta do this like a priority list. We got PDI going absolutely crazy. We got Titan starting to cook up with the Shogun launch. We got Miggles on base absolutely crushing it. Bill the Bull. Out of all these projects, which one do you think we should talk about first?
Pulse chain.
Pulse chain?
Honestly, I think Pulse chain is go time. And I know a lot of your audience is into Titan X, and which is naturally Pulse chain people. I think it's time to pay attention. And I think people on base need to understand what the hell is going on, because what I'm seeing is the opportunity of your lifetime. I love base, but I don't see potential opportunities like I do in Pulse chain. And I think everyone needs to know. How does that sound to you, Chris? Should we show what's going on?
Yes, sir. Right on. Yes, sir. Let's take a look at it.
Wow.
Hey, look, man, we're on the same frequency. You know, I was even taking a look at some fib levels before this. So
wow.
All right.
Look at that.
So I'm gonna keep it in this scale for right now, and then I'll switch over to log real quick. But main point I just want to throw out here. What's going on with PDI? So basically, if you guys have been following me or Bill, we're PDI OGs. And
Yeah.
what that basically means is we got in before it was like super duper cool. I'll even show you guys right around where I got in. I think sorry, I can't, I don't remember it on the log scale.
Super early though. My first tweet on PDI, and it's on my alternate account, which I used to have before Late Night on Base. I tweeted it publicly at 650K market cap. And my thesis was the PRCs are going to create a bull run of its own. It's the thing that's going to create eyes and attention onto Pulse Chain, because no one gave a fuck about Hex. And it was just so new. But the PRCs were something that was never been done before. So to me, PDI at that time was like that, wow, a stable coin that's actually the people's coin backed with nothing will eventually peg to dollar. I thought was crazy. And it's not crazy anymore, because now it's around a 500 million market cap, and it's at 2 cents on its way to $1. But what that means is there's so much going on that every asset, if PDI hits $1, and so far the narrative is playing out, every single asset on that chain, especially tied to Richard Hart or another PRC, which is liquidity bonded to PDI, is going to massively explode. Everything will peg. PWBTC, I think Atropa stuff will obviously go up in value, but that also means there's value in PLSX, PLS, in Inc., Hex. All this money is going to be rotated into the Core 4. Richard has $600 million in his OA wallet, sacrifice wallet, and everything is just bonded together. So I just think this is the beginning. And I think, I'm not going to lie to you, Chris, I lost a lot of faith in Pulse Chain. I thought, this shit's dead. Richard, doesn't live stream anymore. So I started scaling out on a lot. I kept some, but I don't have the position I did anymore back then. But after seeing what's going on with PWBTC, and after seeing what's going on with the PDI, the next 2 months on Pulse Chain will change your life. I repeat, the next 2 months on Pulse Chain will change your life. I don't care about anyone says. I don't care about Solana anymore. I like base, but I'm not as bullish about the assets on base as I am in Pulse Chain. There are some great ones on base. So for any base head, get on Pulse and learn, because it is the opportunity of a lifetime. There is no better cult than the Hex community. And because there's a lot of liquidity bonding and high technical shit, it's not just like, oh, number go up. There's actually substance to it. So I think, to me, Chris, I am just all in now, focused, not just on base, but on Pulse Chain. And I'm not going to let this opportunity slip.
Yeah, love it, man. Love it, man. And I basically, hey, I do agree. I do agree with you that Pulse Chain is absolutely going to go bonkers. And I also do think that PDI is going to be leading the way. And to build on top of that, I was looking while you're talking, going through my memory, and believe it or not, I found PDI on June 28th. And this was back before I got into numerology and astrology. On June 28th, I just realized that.
Wow. What a wild ride.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It was crazy. It was crazy. But you know,
Your vibe.
here's
Show me spud.
oh yeah, we had the let's see.
He was
This
at
po-
1 million. I remember that specifically. He called it a scam.
yeah, this was Sami. This was the Sami FUD.
Yeah.
And then
Hilarious.
this was dollar cost crypto fudding it right here. So dollar cost crypto, when he fudded it, he caused a 80% price drop. And then it
Amazing.
came up right here, and then it just kept going. And then we went through that was basically its wave one, if you guys study Elliott wave theory. So
Which is what's needed though, right? You need to have multiple 80% corrections and you have to have longevity, which is exactly what Murad has been saying. And everything on Pulse Chain has gone that way. Every single asset. And it's all the weekends are completely out because it's been around for so long and it's survived those crashes. That's why, dabbling with a new launch, my advice to everyone listening is you don't need to dabble with new launches right now. At this point, it's basically just understand it's a cash grab, opportunistic. I'm not going to say all of them because there's a lot of good projects and there's definitely a place, but just understand that like it shouldn't be the major part of your portfolio. So I shouldn't say don't dabble in new launches. There are good projects out there that have potential to do well, and especially you can capitalize on hype launches. But just know that like you can't treat it as like a long-term play is what I would recommend.
I agree. I agree 100%. And the thing that I want to add about PDI and just give everybody like a complete breakdown, because you gave a phenomenal analysis about finding critical altcoins that could really do well, that have some time and strength and community. When PDI first launched, there was a token called Atropa that was deployed by a wallet ending in 414. We call it the 414 wallet address. What this wallet address did was it took Atropa, PDI, paired up in liquidity, and burnt it. Through that process, the 414 wallet address also created a massive liquidity web of tokens. It's like 100 and 200 of tokens, paired them all up together and started burning liquidity across the board. And he created this thing called the Atropa ecosystem. Now, the Atropa ecosystem is much more advanced than what I just told you about. It's like a little bit of a game, but it's also a huge money-making opportunity. But the total rundown is the reason why the Atropa ecosystem was built was to create some sort of ecosystem where everybody can win, everybody can benefit. It's unexploitable, and also provide value to PDI as it goes through its pegging process. And when we say pegging, will the price of PDI go to $1? And for those of you guys who don't know, when we talk about PDI to $1 and whatnot, PDI was a copied over stablecoin from Ethereum at when Pulse Chain first launched, and basically all of the MakerDAO codes and contracts was copied over, launched onto Pulse Chain, and there's some evidence to suggest that the MakerDAO protocol on Pulse Chain was taken over by wallets connected to the OA address that basically set up Pulse Chain to begin with. So there's a lot of theory behind this and a lot of stuff going on. Now, the reason why people really like PDI is they're speculating that the price of this token could hit $1, stay at $1, and be the first decentralized dollar. So before I get into my next theory, Bill the Bull, what's your thoughts on that? And is there anything else you want to add to that explanation?
No, I think you summed it up perfectly. I think the theory is, PDI will go to $1. I mean, it's clear. If it was ever a scam, Richard would have completely come out and say it. But the PRCs, again, in my opinion, are the reason why Pulse Chain is doing its thing and people are getting interested. Everything else, the core four, starting off, if it was just the core four, honestly, only Hex Maxis would care because there's so many different layers ones, layers twos out there. Because the PRCs are doing well, I think Richard has the incentive to do what he can to peg it to $1. It would be the greatest story in all of crypto. Getting a random coin, everyone's basically millionaires, and creating it so it's now pegged and liquidity's back. And now people are going to, then he'll open up some farms, and then people will stay on chain because then they have something called incentive token to push, and he'll probably naturally push that up high because of Hart's law based on PLSX, and every single asset is just going to catch massive bids. This chain will literally be the most exciting thing ever. So I think it's great analysis, and I think it's spot on. It's going to $1. I don't think it's going to go to $1 in the next 2 months, but I think by the end of 2025, I think it will. In my opinion, wave 3, we're currently underway, and then I see maybe a 10-month consolidation. And I think the moment that you see a consolidation, and maybe it hits another 88% retrace, because I do think it's going to hit an 88% retrace, go in. And I'm going to go in especially hard. That's how I'm going to play it, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah. But the other thing I also want to just throw out there, and something else to consider, the timeline for this to run up, it actually might be accelerating. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you guys have been on Pulse you probably know that Wintermute is the market maker on Pulse. And so they're working with the Pulse team to make sure that when it comes to arbitraging and making sure that the liquidity pools have a fair price of Pulse, Wintermute is running that. And so a lot of people are asking, so why is PDI going absolutely ballistic, but there's no impact from the OA address? And in my opinion, what I think is going on is this has a lot to do with Wintermute bots going in and setting the price of PDI and just pushing it up and then pushing it down. And so the reason why I bring this up is because the stuff you said is definitely on the table, but the timeline might be a lot shorter. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because this is based on a price set by a trading bot. There's a lot of other details you have to look at, but I think honestly, this might be a lot sooner. Any thoughts on that, my man?
I mean, I'm not looking at it from that perspective, but you very well could be right. If I was just looking at it from a perspective of TA and technical analysis, I stand by my initial assumption. But once you have people setting the price, all things can go wild. Like I said, the next 2 months, January and February especially, it's going to get wild. I think Richard also knows in March it's going to be a massive bloodbath. I think that he's very well aware of the esoteric stuff. So I think, it's going to be very interesting. Obviously, if it pegs to $1, then literally everything just goes parabolic, and wow, we just cash out amazingly. But remember what goes up. Like I said, I don't know. This has never been done before, so maybe it's pegs, doesn't peg. I don't know, but I'm excited for it, and I have my popcorn ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love it, man. All right. Now the other thing I want to pull up. So not only is PDI going to absolutely bonkers, but Rat BTC on Pulse Chain is going crazy as well.
Yes.
So I'm gonna bring up this price chart, and then we'll move on because I don't want to highlight Pulse Chain way too much. Oh wait, let me put in the Rat Pulse. So believe it or not, there's a good chance that Rat BTC might actually peg to the actual price of Bitcoin, which would be absolutely freaking bonkers. So let's take a look at it. Yeah, so we're sitting at about $1,700. I remember when Richard flooded this thing down to $50, and that's when I bought. Like this thing got flooded $50 back on Christmas last year.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, I was telling you off stream, I once held 400 of these things. I would be sitting very pretty. I stopped believing in it, but I own still a good amount. But I remember that FUD. I remember now hindsight, it's all Richard purposely doing things because he knew it wasn't ready. And I think he wanted to wait till this time to get all the non-believers out. And I think that's the only way these charts could moon. And so he absolutely knew what he was doing with those tweets.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy game. But right now, sitting at about $1,636. Technically, I would define this as price discovery, but if you want to nitpick it, we did have a massive wick right here from issues with the bridge. But ultimately, man, like I said, I think this is Wintermute just pumping the crap out of this token. So to where it goes from here, I'll leave that up to you guys. Guys, let me know. Do you think Rat BTC on Pulse Chain is going to peg? Leave a comment down below. And also, do you think PDI is going to peg as well? So, good stuff, my man. All right. Awesome. So, we just talked about PDI. We talked about Pulse Chain. We talked about Tropa. Now, Bill, I know you're a degen. I know you got meme coin plays for days. I'm really curious, man. What are you looking at right now?
On any chain or?
Any chain? Anything you want to talk about?
All right. Well, I don't want to bore people to death. I think now we're in a time in the market where I'm slowly starting to lose interest in Solana, because it's just super saturated. I think people need to figure out kind of where their edge is. I think Solana, you're never going to have an edge. I still have my loose bags. I'm excited for Lucy for the December month. I think it's going to be big, religious coin meta. As far as base goes, Miggles, obviously you're in Miggles. I think Miggles is the key component. I know people like a lot of the AI agents like Loom and stuff, but the one I'm looking at is Miggles. I like video as well. I know one of the homies here was talking about Ape Tardio on base. I think those ones will catch their all-time high bid. But again, I think you have to pick and choose anything between 500K to 10 million or 8 million. It's kind of like one aspect, but I think the bigger plays are going to have the ones that are going to catch the most bids. So I'm focusing primarily on obviously Miggles, my Lucy bag. But like I said to you, Chris, like the next 2 months, I'm focused heavily on Pulse Chain, and one in particular in Pulse Chain that I think is just ready. Like the same kind of conviction I had when PWBTC was like 50 or 60. It's Ink. Incentive token to me, looking at the chart, looking at everything, is the one that's going to go. It's trading at $2.50 or something like that. I truly believe incentive token is going to hit $500-$600. I know you were saying maybe 1,000, but like to me, it makes a lot of sense, and the charts don't lie. It's just been curling up for way too long without the explosive growth. If you zoom out a little bit, you'll see that this thing is just ready to just round up, round up, round up. If you look at that, that's just beautiful. That's just beautiful. Hardly any resistance to. It's going to pass that, which is like $80. I truly believe incentive token is like I can't stop getting as much of that. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. What are you looking at, Chris? I know you got a lot of Titan X plays. I still got some Titan X stuff. Got the Inferno Bull, but I'm not really focused too much. What about you?
Yeah, man, absolutely. And yeah, there's a couple of products that I definitely want to talk about. We'll take a look at the Titan X price chart because I have a lot of people ask me about it. The one thing I just want to say about Ink, I think this is a great play. We definitely did come down, and I believe do I have the 0.22 on here? Yeah, I think we went a little bit past that. We're forming a beautiful cup and handle, about to go. I think honestly, man, our first target for Ink, it's probably going to be all-time high about $42-$50, and then when we hit price discovery, it's going to go crazy. So, yeah, man, I like your Ink play. And then the other thing, Bill, we got to brag about Miggles, man. We were telling these guys about Miggles at about it was almost like a $12 million market cap.
Yeah, it got low, and like I said, Miggles is a bag that I just am not touching. I think at this stage in the cycle, you have to hold your conviction plays with your diamond hands, because you might be seeing towards the end of the altcoin mania, your bag is going up like 200-300% in a day. So I'm not touching anything. Miggles to me is just getting started. There's no doubt, like my co-host on my other show, Rachel Rose, is now a part of the core team. Like these people, they're all over Asia. They have so much like they're basically making bread with who's who in this industry. And again, Coinbase, I believe they have officially licensed the IP from Coinbase. They know all the people at Coinbase. They're just funded. I think the next round of retail mania for base projects will be when Coinbase starts listing things of their own memes. And I think Miggles will get there. I think also, I'm not confirmed that they're also with Wintermute, but I feel no doubt in my mind Miggles will get that Coinbase listing. And then the moment you start seeing that, obviously this thing's going to a few billion, but I think that's when base memes just like go parabolic. So if you're a base head, a base supporter, pick and choose your memes that you're in that you like and hold on. It might not be as exciting, but you just need to wait, and that catalyst will come. But for me, Miggles is secured in my hardware wallet. You cannot pry them off my hands, Chris.
I love it, man. Love it. So I'm gonna show you guys this blue right here. This was when Bill was screaming, "Hey, Miggles, 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 potential breakout." Came back down. Breakout was not confirmed. Then we came back down here because I was like, "Dang, man, I wish I got it right there." Yeah. It came down here. The Matrix gave me the opportunity to jump in, so I jumped in right here. traded sideways, and then look at this, man. We got up to almost a $200 market cap, which was crazy.
Yeah,
So
200 mil.
200 mil. So just from there, from when we were, and we did talk about this on the next layer. So that's about 12 to 15x. Crazy stuff, man. So yeah, guys, Miggles, definitely check it out. We're doing a little bit of a correction coming back down. In my opinion, I think Miggles could definitely $1 billion meme coin. 10 billion is definitely in a discussion. So 1 to
Yeah.
10 billion is my target. So awesome.
Yeah,
Cool.
real quick, Chris, because I know Black Pinoy wanted us. I'm not going to look at it, but he just mentioned PSTE as the next PWB2C. The only thing I would ask of you guys to understand is there is a mint function on STE. We don't necessarily know how reliable that is, whether it's part of the protocol, a rebase function, or a bad actor. Not trying to FUD, but just trying to create awareness. If they're able to resolve that, or come up with reasons why there's some sort of minting takes away the FUD, this thing could be the next PWBTC. And the reason why is, the last thing I'll say, people are going, PRCs leading the way. People are going to want to catch the next beta plays. And for me, Bitcoin is obviously the Bitcoin, but what's next after Bitcoin? Ethereum. So people are going to be like, oh my God, what if Bitcoin pegs? The PWBT pegs, they'll be like, whoa, can I find the Ethereum version? So we all know PWETH is tied to PLS, so it's like kind of 1-to-1, so that's not an issue. So then you look at these other, liquid Ethereum staking ones, and so it would catch a bid, but it would go absolutely parabolic if that mechanism is explained and people don't have to worry about a malicious actor. So I do have a little bit of PSTETEH, just like a little lottery play, but let's obviously calm the brakes down until more is discussed.
I agree. Yeah, some of these PRC20s, you definitely gotta be careful. I'm wondering if Rocket staked ETH has a mint function.
Yeah, it does. Well, I don't know if it has a mint function, but that's actually one I checked out too. I think it's at like $10. That's another one. But the liquidity's terrible. But I think that can work. I think it was at $10 the other day, 9.20, 9.32. See, it's let me share this one with you.
Yeah.
Real quick. Present. Yeah, I mean, it's the point where a lot of these things will catch a bid. Let's see, it's this one. See, this one's at like $9, 3.5 million, but see the liquidity only 8.6K. But I think this one doesn't have a mint function as well. So this is interesting. But to me, if you're looking down the list of copies, I mean, I don't know about you, Chris, but I really like Aave. And this one is 86 cents. I just want to put this on people's radar. All-time high of, well, it's going to be, look at this chart. This thing is just about to go past all-time high. Once it goes to price discovery, people are going to think about the pegging. I think Aave is at like 180 or 200 million, the real Aave. So, or $180. This is 86 cents. So with 107K liquidity, which is actually pretty good. And I believe this was one of Richard Hart's first core PRCs that he did talk about, or he created a pool back in July or something. So that would be a really good play. I have some ready for the moon ride.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'll tell people that the thing that I've been kind of not really gatekeeping, but I figure out why a lot of these PRC20s are going crazy. So, you know what, Bill? I'm going to tell you my number one pick for Pulse Chain for the next 2 months. This is going to be huge, man. This is going to be huge because not many people put this together except the person who actually found this token. So, why are PRC20s going crazy on Pulse Chain? There's one token that's facilitating PRC mania, and the name of that token is A1A, founded by Sonny the developer, or Sonny the detective. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with A1A, basically it's a tax token, and that tax allocation, which is 1% off of buys and sells, is sent to liquidity providers. So you're paid out LP in whatever LP pool you own. And when you have arbitrage bots on Pulse Chain, they're constantly paying that 1%. Now, what's happening with A1A is that this token is tied to all the PRC20 tokens. And when PDI started running, that LP pool between A1A and PDI started going crazy. And you started to see this wave of volume going from A1A to all these PRC20s, and that's part of the reason why these PRC20s are going absolutely ballistic. So in my opinion, A1A is going to be the S&P 500 for PRC20s. $10 million. There's 10 million of these tokens out on the market. I think one of these tokens could easily get to $100, $1,000, maybe even
what is it trading at?
$10,000.
What is it trading at? I've literally have faded all of Sunny stuff because I didn't really get into it, but I have to change that. 57 cents, right?
Yeah, 57 cents. So
Wow.
if you look at like you see how this thing just exploded like that. That's why all the PRC20s have the same chart structure from what I'm seeing. And it has a lot to do with the how this has 700 LPs and the arbitrage bot is just paying 1%, 1%. So some of the burn liquidity between these tokens is burning A1A and whatever PRC20 token into a burn wallet address. So it's actually removing PRC20 token supply from the market, making that PRC20 much scarcer. So I think A1A is that hidden gem, and I don't think many people have really talked about it yet. And Sonny, he's a really smart guy, really great developer. He's on Spaces a lot, but I think honestly, I think this thing's going to probably be one of the biggest pulse chain altcoins ever, right behind like PTGC and the top ones.
So do you think so if you're bullish on I mean, I'm very this is like I'm probably going to buy it back. So my question to you is if you're bullish on the PRCs, you should naturally be bullish on the A1A because they are bonded to most of the top PRCs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So as those go up, then this naturally bring up the A1A as well.
Yes,
Oh
sir.
wow.
And here's the crazy part. I was looking at this. I need to double check this. So guys, please fact check me on this. But from my understanding, there's about 70 to 80% of the A1A tokens is in LP, right? So remember, when you burn that LP and you have a bot come in and arbitrage, those LPs get bigger and bigger and bigger over time. So whatever's in LP, you can kind of constitute that as a burn, but you can still swap in and out of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Wow.
So because so much of these tokens are in LP, it's a natural burn, and the supply is much more scarce than just 10 million tokens. And so when I saw what he was building, I slowly got in. I got a decent bag, and in my opinion, I think this is going to be the number one behind any PRC20. And then I would just do like a list of 5, bro, like Rat PTC, maybe some of BTT, Aave is a great one. Maker's another great PRC20, and then just make a list of them. And so the theory is once we start to see these PRC20s hit peg, then you can take your ERC20, bridge it onto Pulse Chain, pair it up for the same price, and then as people go and trade between these pools, you earn fees while not being eaten by slippage. Does that make sense?
Yeah, man. I'm just like, wow, I think this could be a hidden gem, 100%. It's literally 57 cents. No one's talking about it. And I think things will get really wild. Or just last question of this, and it also has a pairing with PLS too. So
Yes,
so there's liquidity in all of the Richard Heart ecosystem coins, basically.
yeah, and that one that's paired up with PLS, there's that little tax percentage, right? So more PLS goes into that pool, so it's actually gaining momentum. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna click off log real quick. If I price this versus Rat Pulse right now, let me go back to auto. You can see that A1A is absolutely going ballistic versus Rat Pulse just because of that LP tax being implemented. It's up about a 4x, and sooner or later we're going to go into price discovery versus Rat Pulse, and that's when I think this thing's going to go absolutely ballistic. So
you think potentially this could be a triple digit coin?
Yeah, triple digit. Hey, I don't want to be too much of a moon boy because people get these expectations, but that's like the bare minimum thought. You see what I'm saying? Minimum triple digit.
Yeah, I mean, and again, super small supply. It's not mintable, I assume,
Nope.
and it's been in play since October 23, and that's the kind of thing that's had its 80% rejection and just been consolidating for over a year. So from a technical point of view, these are the type of things that once it clears all-time high, and it's going to clear all-time high, things can get really wild and really silly really fast. So obviously it's a leverage play. If you also are bullish on, core RH coins, oh yeah, this is guaranteed, because you're bullish on the core RH coins, which will catch a bid once the PRCs. I mean, like I said, that's their baby, so that's why Ink is going to explode. PLSX, PLS Hex, you might want to have more of a leverage play, and that's A1A. So you're capturing the upside of the PRCs, and you're capturing the upside of the richer hardcore 4 coins. So super thankful, man, that you talked to me about this. I'm absolutely going to buy this. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. And hey, I think with the token like this, man, at least you get a little piece of that PRC 20 hype, but it's also a little less risky. You see what I'm saying? So
for sure. And you're getting, like you said, you're getting exposure to the PRCs, and I think that's massive, because you can't catch all of them. And if like, I don't know how many pairs are bonded with how many PRCs are bonded with A1A, but to me, that makes a lot of sense. You're getting exposure to an asset that's appreciating without owning that, and you're getting a piece of every single thing. So if you're bullish on the richer ecosystem, then to me, you have to be bullish on A1A.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So overall, man, I think that's going to be a great pick. I think all you guys just check it out. Check out the Pulsion ecosystem. Check out Mr. Miggles, and shout out to Rachel and all of her hard work with the team. And shout out to you, Bill, for always connecting with people, because if you guys want alpha on anything base wise, Bill's the man. And that's what's great about the next layer. So we got to wrap this live stream up. Bill, any last thoughts?
Ooh, well, number one, Chris, I love doing these shows with you. Every week we need to do this right away. Every Wednesday, tune in. I think right now, the next 2 months, your lives are going to change. I think everyone's lives are going to change. I think, whatever you do, you got to lock in your focus. I think we're blessed to be in this position. And I think, we probably won't ever have this position ever again. I don't care what the next bull run thinks. It could look a lot different. So just lock in. Know your worth. This is a time to make generational wealth for you and your loved ones. The world's a scary place, but me and your boy Chris will guide you every step of the way in crypto.
Hey, awesome. And just add on to that, guys, please follow my boy Bill the Bull at Late Night on Base. Show him some love. Check out Rachel. Check out the Miggles crew. Continue to retweet and like all their posts so that we can continue to connect with other conscious beings in the Matrix. Till then, we'll see you guys next week, Wednesday, on the next layer, 3 p.m. Eastern time. I believe that is 12 p.m. Pacific time.
Correct.
Awesome. Peace out, y'all.